Grammy TAPS here. I'm excited to share another message with you. I've been thinking about this, especially since you just started school. And I know one of you is in kindergarten. And that is such an exciting time because you're learning new things. It's the first time you're away from mommy and daddy for a long time, every day. And you're learning the alphabet and how the letters sound and how to read. You're learning how to write, and you're learning numbers, how to count and to add. Those are all important things. But there are other things that you're learning in kindergarten that I think are much more important. When your mommy and daddies were little, I read a book. Can you believe it? I've actually read a lot of books. I enjoy reading and I enjoy learning. And this particular book was entitled, Everything I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Wow! What impressed me the most about this is that the things that the author talked about are things that we need to learn to interact with other people and to develop relationships with them. And those things, I believe, are most important too. How do we treat our family? How do we treat our friends? How do we treat other people? And our relationships with other people, that is what makes us most successful in our lives. And so today, I want to share with you 4 things that the author talked about in his book that he feels are important to learn in kindergarten. And I hope you learn these in kindergarten and remember them. The first one is share. Now in kindergarten, you share crayons, you share toys, sometimes you have snacks and you learn to share snacks. And those things are important. Today, I had a picnic lunch with Pap, and I took a lunch and we shared it together. And after we finished eating, we read some poetry together, so we shared our poetry. So there are lots of ways that you can share. And right now, I'm sharing a message with you. So I'm continuing to share. So find lots of ways that you can share. And you know, the more we share, the more that comes back to us. Like the story I told you not too long ago about my giving wheat, and the more bread I gave away, the more wheat came back to me. Sharing really makes us happy. Number 2, play fair. Whatever we play, whether it be games in sports or a board game, or we need to obey the rules and play fair. And that's what makes the game enjoyable. When people cheat or when they disobey the rules, it's not fun. The other night, Pap and I, we went down to Aunt Allison's house and we played some games with her. We played 2 games. Aunt Allison won the first game and Pap won the second game. He was so excited. Do you know why? Because that's only the second time Pap has won that game. I was excited that Aunt Allison won, and I was excited that Pap won. That made it even more enjoyable because we all played fair and we just enjoyed playing together. And that is the fun of it, is being together doing something. Oh, and something else, especially this has to do with school, is taking tests. When you take tests, the way you play fair is being honest and doing your own work. No one wants somebody to cheat on their papers. So remember to play fair in school too. Number 3, don't hit. Hitting hurts. And sometimes I know little children, they just kind of get upset or angry, and it's easy just to hit someone, and the teacher will say, no hitting. And sometimes we get hit on accident. It's not intentional, but it hurts. I want to share a story with you. This happened a few years ago. Pap and Uncle Benjamin and I and Aunt Allison, we went on vacation and we stayed with some friends of ours in another state. And one morning I woke up early and everyone else was asleep. It was still dark out, so I thought, okay, I'm just going to go back to bed and rest for a little bit. So I climbed into bed next to Grandpa, and he was sleeping and his back was to me, and he felt me get into bed, and so he raised his arm so that he could turn around and put it around me and cuddle me. And as he lifted his arm up, guess what happened? His elbow connected with my eye, and he hit me right in the eye, and it hurt. And I started crying, and Pat felt so bad. He didn't mean to, and he put his arms around me, and he held me, and he hugged me, and he said, "Oh, Terri, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" I said, "No, it hurts," and I cried. And he just said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that." That really wakened him up. And a little bit later, when everyone else was up, we were talking, and all of a sudden, the children in the family, they just staring at me, and their eyes got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I said, "What's the matter?" And they said, "Sister Smith, your eye is turning colors. What happened to you?" They could actually see my eye turning black and blue. So I told them what happened, and everybody laughed. Grandpa didn't mean to do it. And that brings us to the fourth one, is to say, I'm sorry when we hurt someone. He didn't mean to hurt me, and he quickly apologized and said, I'm sorry. And I forgave him because I knew it was an accident. And sometimes we hurt people by accident, and we need to tell them, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Will you please forgive me? And when we do it intentionally, then we also need to say, I'm sorry, I will try not to ever do that again. Because we really don't want to hurt people's feelings. All of these things, these 4 items, have to do with, remember, our behavior towards other people, being kind and doing what's right. I hope that you will remember to share, to play fair, not to hit, and to say, I'm sorry when you hurt someone. I want you to know that you add value to my life. I am so glad you are part of my life. I love you, and I enjoy sharing my messages with you, sharing with you things that I've learned, things that help us to improve our relationships with other people. So during this next week, remember to do these 4 things, and then I'll have some more to share with you. I love you, and until next time, Grammy TAPS, signing off.